Hi, and welcome back to Penguin's View, and some more interesting facts for you. I'm rather enjoying this midweek interesting fact thing. All doing the research I find quite good. Anyway, today's subject: Swedish supergroup ABBA. Yeah, I'm afraid to say that I'm not afraid to say. I was a big fan and could never wait for the albums to come out, and then I used to play them to death, as it were. Anyway, so now some interesting facts about ABBA and the ABBA people. So Benny and Bjorn wrote their first song together in 1966, but 2 years after I was born. Yeah, that long ago. It was called Isn't Easy to Say, and was recorded by their first group that they were in called the Hep Stars. I did know about the Hep Stars, didn't know about the song. Here we go. This one I definitely didn't know. In a Gothenburg newspaper, there was a competition to find a suitable name for the band. Guessing stories were a bit thin on the ground that day, but anyway, there we go. Members of the group like entries like Ali Baba, Baba, and Fab. Now that's Fab spelt with two B's, and again would still have been the letters of their first names, obviously using Frida rather than Annifrid. But as much as they liked them, they did eventually settle on ABBA, as we all well know. Right, so they were also the first group from a non-English speaking country, that's natively English speaking. I know the Swedish and the Norwegians do speak English very well. But from a non-native English-speaking country to have consistent success in the charts of English-speaking countries. Quite interesting, or as far as I'm concerned. Now, in April 1970, the two couples were on holiday in Cyprus and would sing together just for fun. But they ended up entertaining the United Nations soldiers that were actually stationed there. It was like their first proper gig, as it were, as a foursome, that is. In 1973, they agreed to promote Semper Baby Food Company. Bjorn and Agneta's daughter Linda, hardly a very Swedish name, but there we go, made her modelling debut in the adverts themselves. Good. Now, their strange stage clothes. Now, there's been a lot said about these down the years, but they actually did it as a way of saving money. Because if it can be proved that the clothes were not for daily wear, and believe me, their stage clothes were not for daily wear, they were considered tax deductible, and thus they did, and saved money. Now, this one's sort of ABBA and sort of not. Led Zeppelin recorded their last album at ABBA's Stockholm studios. Robert Plant has said that along with the ABBA boys in late 1978, they ended up at a sex club to avoid the ABBA girls. Interesting. In 1976, there was an ABBA TV special in Australia, which got more views than the 1969 moon landing. There's the Aussies for you, gotta love them. But there we go. Now, Frida, Annifrid, got her first number one in 1971 with a single that translates as My Own Town. Now, this was written by Benny, with the other members of the band on backing vocals. So they were doing stuff together before the ABBA. Now, during the Cold War, currencies from behind the Iron Curtain countries had to have an embargo on them. ABBA were popular in these countries, so to get around the money issues, they were paid in oil commodities. Um, Interesting. I think in this day and age that probably get them a lot of protests, but there we go. Before they were actually ABBA, they called themselves Festfolk, meaning party people. And let's be honest, a lot of their songs are quite upbeat party songs, and we enjoy them. Now, the ABBA name was actually first used in 1838 by a food company, with one of its well-known products being ABBA pickled herring. Yes, the Swedes love their pickled herring. I've tried it. It's not for me. That's an interesting fact I'll just throw in there for nothing. Anyway, in 1974, they agreed with the company to share the name. I would have thought that was good advertising for their pickled herrings. Could be wrong. Anyway, hopefully you found this of interest. If you have any suggestions, drop the suggestions down in the comments. I will look into them. If I think they're interesting enough, I will give it a shot. So until the next one, TTFN.